Wow, guys, this is one of the greatest smackdowns I've ever seen of a CNN reporter. You guys gotta check this video out.
President Trump, when he said drain the swamp, he meant it. And
I
yes,
just want
so
to make
those
sure.
kinds of spending programs are going to be put under review.
Okay, I don't think anybody's taking issue with if you find money that is being dispersed in an inappropriate way, halting it. I think what the confusion is this seemed to a lot of groups and a lot of states, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, like a very sweeping order, and there is confusion. I just want to make sure I understand. So anybody out there that provides school lunches, anybody out there?
Yeah,
that
there's zero impact on public benefit programs, full stop, as OMB has made clear. And I want to really drill down on this, Jake, because it's so important. There's 2 million employees in the federal government. Overwhelmingly, the career federal service in this country is far left, left wing. The American people.
I don't know that to be a fact.
Well, I'll give you a great example. We looked at USAID as an example.
That's
98% of the workforce either donated to Kamala Harris or another left-wing candidate, just as an example.
okay, but
let me just
an entire workforce as having a
wait, whoa. Did you just say that saying someone voted for Kamala Harris is demonizing them?
No.
So according
your suggestion is that there's a bias.
No, but you used the word demonizing. You just said that I'm demonizing somebody by saying they voted for Kamala Harris.
Let's get back on track.
But I am on track.
Okay.
Let me stay on track. What I'm saying to you is this: there are 2 million employees in the federal government.
Right.
They're overwhelmingly left of center.
Again,
the American people, I got to finish the sentence.
Okay.
I got to finish the sentence. The American people voted for dramatic change implemented by Donald Trump. So it is essential for him to get control of government, to establish a whole of government process for Donald Trump's political appointees to review discretionary grants of spending for pet projects that are not directed by Congress. In other words, these are pots of money where Congress hasn't said how to spend it or where to spend it. This might be something like saying, I want to build a $500 million fountain in the courtyard of the Department of Commerce. This might be something like saying, I want to fund gender studies in Afghanistan. There has to be political control and review. I can't help it if left-wing media outlets published a fake news story that caused confusion. If you read the OMB guidance memo, it is, well, if you read the OMB guidance memo,
I don't know what
it's as clear as day.
Left-wing media outlet is you, Jake. CNN. Everybody knows this. You gotta sit there and think about what type of person sits there and agrees with the message that CNN puts out week after week. All this stuff have been said by Caroline Levitt in these press briefings. He said, we're not stopping food stamps. We're not stopping food on wheels. We're investigating where this other money is going. So, we're still going to get aid, but we're doing an investigation. Anybody that disagrees with that has something to hide. These people have been taken from American people for a while. And to say what Jake Tapper just said, you want $500 million to build a fountain when it probably costs 500,000, and then you go pocket the rest of the money. That's the type of stuff that he's saying needs to be investigated. And every American could sit there and believe that message and agree with that. So how can you sit there and go against Trump and Elon Musk for wanting to investigate where this stuff is going? Let's keep going, guys. Let me know what you think about the video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Just talked to Congressman Don Bacon, a Republican, a Trump supporter. We just interviewed him. He said that there was a lot of confusion. He said that the executive order
created by the media, Jake. The OMB guidance memo, if you read it, is as clear as day.
It's pretty broad
my point is,
and confusingly written. Parts of it are about DEI, parts of it are all disbursement. It is.
Yeah, DEI suspended. That is correct.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of all over the map, and there is confusion, and it's not just liberal media.
Jake, tell me.
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski said.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
But
I'm saying that
I want you to address this.
I will, but I'm saying that a false story was put out that people responded to. It's unfortunate that people put out a false story. That's all I'm saying, Jake.
Okay.
That's all
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski said, quote, nobody really knows how long, unquote, this review of these federal funds is going to last. And she said it's, quote, been a big challenge, unquote, to get answers from the Trump administration. So here's an opportunity. How long is this review going to take? And when does the federal funding for these programs resume?
Jake Tapper, you're worried about the wrong stuff. Why do we have to review? As long as the problem gets fixed, why do you care? He knows the Democrats have something to hide. He knows that they've been taking advantage of the American people. 98% of those people funded Kamala Harris's campaign. You know, they're mad that they got to scam us out of that money, and then they try to feed it to Kamala Harris, and they end up losing. Was it a billion and like $200 million? You know, these people are mad. They're trying to throw whatever they can at Trump. I've been saying it for a really long time. Let's keep going, guys.
Well, in the original executive order that addressed NGOs, foreign aid, and other grants, that was a 90-day review process, as you know, Jake. But again, more fundamentally, I think we're missing the big point here. Do you believe, does anyone believe, that an unaccountable, career-tenured bureaucrat should be able to approve vast sums of money for the projects that they personally agree with, that no accountable employee in the federal government has reviewed?
I'm literally asking about Meals on Wheels. I mean, you know,
we are.
I don't know what you're talking
Jake, yes,
about.
Jake, you do know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, as the memo says, in black and white letters, no financial benefit programs to Americans are affected. No individual assistance programs are affected. It's there in black and white.
Yeah.
We always knew that the media was going to spin up fake stories to try to create controversy, to try to create scandal. I'm not saying you, Jake. I would never say you. I'm not saying you.
We invited you on to clarify, Stephen, and we just heard
and
from
I'm
Republican
here.
Right,
And
I know, and I
all-
appreciate it. And I want to turn to
and I'm
immigration in one
explaining it
second,
to
but
you.
I'm just saying, Republican Congressman Don Bacon was hearing from constituents. We have no idea where the constituents were getting their information was from, but I will say, last night, when people started noticing this order, people were upset based on the executive order. I was hearing from them directly.
The executive order, Jake, the executive order was issued 7 days ago.
I understand that, but it was going when the word got out.
This is an OMB guidance document.
Right, exactly.
Look,
And when that went out, people got it.
Yes.
And you heard Congressman Don Bacon saying he was worried.
Yes.
Now he's not, but he was worried that before school programs and after school programs in Nebraska were going to be affected.
I am sorry.
But you've clarified
the media. I'm sorry that the media has falsely reported on this story.
I don't know what you're talking about in terms of false reports.
Look,
it's a broadly written executive order, and there's
no. You're conflating two different things.
Stephen,
an executive order was issued a week ago. There were some
and there was the memo.
There were some bureaucrats in the federal government who tried to push out money, billions of dollars, for wicked and pernicious purposes that had to be frozen. A guidance memo was written. OMB guidance memos are by their nature complicated to read because this involves the federal budget. The choice here is simple. It is very simple, and I want to state it clearly.
Okay.
Either Donald Trump gets political control over this government and ends the waste, abuse, and fraud on the American people, or we let bureaucrats autopilot federal spending. If we hadn't stepped in, then billions more dollars, as an example, would have gone to left-wing NGOs that fund and resettle illegal aliens and are complicit, in many cases, in facilitating child trafficking.
Okay,
so this administration will never, ever apologize for defending the American taxpayer.
Obviously, nobody's in favor of child trafficking. Let's move on to immigration.
Obviously, you are if you're defending it. You guys got to respect the points that Miller is making here. You know, I don't have as much patience as he has. You know, you try to argue and you try to go back and forth with these type of people, you're always going to lose. You know, you can't entertain the circus. I've been on Facebook and people keep saying Trump's taking away my food stamps, Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that. I've been just removing friends, removing friends, removing friends. In a minute, I'm only going to have 5 friends on Facebook. You know, because trying to stoop down to their level to explain to them why he's doing this, you're only going to waste your time. See, he grabbed his paper, start stacking them up. He's about to try to push out some more propaganda. Just a lot of word vomit and a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, guys. And Stephen Miller's trying to provide some clarity. You know, trying to sit there is like with this guy Jake Tapper is like trying to clean a window with mud. You know, he's never gonna be able to see through it. Let's keep going, guys.
Because obviously there's been a lot of action when it comes to going after undocumented migrants, undocumented immigrants in this country. Sources say that ICE has been directed to ramp up arrests to at least 75 per field office per day. If every field office hits that quota or that number, that goal, that would be 1,875 undocumented immigrants arrested every day. Now, the Washington Post reports that President Trump has been disappointed with the numbers so far. I don't know if that's true. You will tell me if it is. What is the priority, though, when it comes to these deportations? Is the initial goal, as we had been told by Trump allies after the election, to go after those first, as a priority, to go after those who have committed violent crimes and are part of violent gangs? Or is it we're just going to go after anybody who is in this country illegally? We're not going to prioritize.
Well, yes, we are going to prioritize. So first of all, the numbers you cited are a floor, not a ceiling, very importantly. They're a floor. The goal is to arrest at least that many, but hopefully many more. And the Department of Justice is going to be closely involved in providing the manpower to help achieve those objectives as laid out in the President's executive order. Yes, ICE is absolutely prioritizing terrorist, public safety threats, and national security threats. It is also true that Joe Biden admitted some unknowably large number of millions of illegal immigrants into this country, all of whom are ineligible for asylum, ineligible for any form of immigration relief, are ineligible to remain in the country. So if you look at public polling on this issue, about 70% of Americans think that everybody that Joe Biden let in should be removed. About 80% of Americans agree that all criminal aliens should be removed. That's the baseline of public opinion support.
So you are going to prioritize the violent criminals, though. That's the thing I'm
Yes,
wondering.
but we're not going to. Yes, but we're not going to immunize everybody that Joe Biden let in. I mean, let me ask you a hypothetical, and you can treat it as a rhetorical question, not answer it if you don't want to, Jake.
I appreciate it.
Let's say that an illegal alien arrived in the last 3 months of the Biden administration from, say, Peru. He was released. He failed to appear in immigration court. He was issued a final removal order. So showed up, got released, didn't appear, ordered deported. Been here for 6 months. Is it your position, Jake, that that guy should get to stay till the end of his life? I mean, what kind of country can run that way?
Okay.
I mean, no country in the world runs that way.
So let me ask you, President Trump has left.
He doesn't want to answer the questions, obviously. Let me tell you guys this. If I was to drive while suspended and they were to take me to court and I wasn't to show up to court, then they would issue a warrant for my arrest. I would have to go to jail. But these people get a court date, don't go. Get another court date, don't go. Get another court date, don't go. Until they're 80 years old, and all they did was use America for its resources, take advantage of us, and get top priority over me, and I'm an American citizen. How does that make sense, guys? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and as always, let me know what to react to. Out.